Hi everyone, Simone Mendez here. And today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about anxiety. And I know we've talked about anxiety before in many different contexts, but I want to talk about anxiety in the context of what's going on in the world right now, right? Between COVID and, do you get vaccinated? Do you not get vaccinated? Do you wear your mask? Do you not wear your mask? Do you quarantine and limit who you're around? Or do you, go out and do what you normally do? All of those different scenarios can provide anxiety, especially when, we still work. You're still in school, you still have family and friends and lives to lead. And so it could be hard to make sense of it all, to figure out what works best for you and what keeps you feeling safe and secure. And so the reason why I want to talk about anxiety is because with all of those different things, I imagine that a lot of people are experiencing anxiety of the unknown, for people who are questioning the vaccine. There's the anxiety of not necessarily knowing if you can trust the vaccine, if that is how you feel, or anxiety about just what's the right thing to do. And the, I guess, fortunate and unfortunate part is that nobody can tell you what the right thing to do is. You have to make the best decision for yourself. And again, what makes you feel comfortable and what makes you feel secure and what allows you to continue living your life in the best way that you're able to. And so if that means that you get vaccinated so that you can continue to work and continue to interact with people, then you do that. If it means you don't get vaccinated, then again, that is your choice. And so with that in mind, if you feel as though you are experiencing anxiety, you're feeling really overwhelmed, you're feeling really worried about the unknowns and about the future and about what's right and what's wrong, talk to somebody. Let somebody know, because 9 times out of 10, you're not the only person who's feeling the way that you're feeling. I can guarantee you that you can strike up a conversation with someone and they have likely run through the same things in their mind. And so just finding support, finding people that you feel comfortable enough to talk to and comfortable enough to share your opinion, because that's probably part of the anxiety as well, is that there are so many different opinions out there. Everybody has how they feel about what's going on. And so sometimes that can be hard to talk to others because their opinion might not align with yours. And so that could cause argument, that can, cause conversations to go left when you didn't intend for them to. And so finding people that you feel comfortable and secure with to talk to and just let them know what's going on. Hey, there's so many different things that I'm hearing in the news. There's so many, statistics out there, and I just don't know what to do. And, you guys sit down and talk about that. And so whether that is with a friend or a family member or, a fellow coworker or a student, a classmate, or you find a counselor, as I've suggested many, many times before, now more than ever is the time to get connected with a counselor, because we we definitely understand the need for people to have someone to talk to, someone that they're comfortable with, someone that they know is not going to judge them, that is unbiased, that's not going to tell them what to do and how to do it, but really and truly will listen and will provide feedback, will provide honest feedback. And so if you don't have a therapist or don't know how to access one, as an EFSC student, you have EFSC Cares, which provides access to free counseling for students. And that is something that you absolutely cannot beat, especially in a time right now where, there's insurance, there's, self-pay cost, all of those different things. And so the fact that as an EFSC student, you have access at your fingertips to free counseling, please, 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 please take advantage of it, especially if you recognize that you are dealing with feelings of anxiety or feelings of depression or just uncertainty. Even if you don't know if you can label it as anxiety or depression or, any type of diagnosis label, if you're just dealing with thoughts of uncertainty and you need to talk it out in order to unravel those thoughts and make sense of it all, reach out. Now, like I said, now more than ever is the time to get connected with a therapist. And again, the fact that EFSC students have access to free counseling is an amazing benefit of being an EFSC student. And if you don't necessarily want to talk to a counselor, then find other outlets. Continue to do research and make sure that your research is expansive. That you're not just looking for one specific answer, but that you're really doing in-depth research in order to make sense of things, and that you're talking to trusted people, people that aren't just going to tell you what you want to hear, or who aren't just going to tell you what their opinion is, but who have also done their fair share of research. But also stay off the news. That is definitely another way to help decrease anxiety, is to lessen the amount of news that we intake, because the news in and of itself can be overwhelming. Like, life by itself is overwhelming, right? There's so many different things going on. We wear different hats throughout the course of a day. And so life is already overwhelming. And then to add in constant influx of news and updates, that just adds another level of overwhelm. So if you feel that you are feeling significantly overwhelmed and anxious or worried, take notice of how much news you're taking in, how much social media you are utilizing. Taking breaks from social media is absolutely necessary. Even if we weren't dealing with COVID and all the different things that are going on in other parts of the world, even if we weren't dealing with those things, just breaks from social media in general, because we become so consumed with what we see and what we read on social media. And again, that can overwhelm us. It can distract us. It can, soak up our time. And so, we intend to do one thing, and the next thing you know, realize we've been scrolling on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. And so being more disciplined about how much time you allow yourself to be on social media can be helpful, and definitely aid in decreasing any anxiety that you might be feeling. Excuse me. And again, the same thing with the news as well. Being mindful of how often you're watching the news, how often you check the news, how often you read news articles. I know one thing that I had to do, it's been a couple years now, but at one point I had the CNN app on my phone, and there was a particular time where I was just getting constant updates of just negativity. Like, I think something was going on. And so they were just continually updating about the situation. But that was when I decided, you know what? I can't have this on my phone, because it was draining. One, because every time a notification came, I checked it. But then two, the type of notification that it wasn't good news, it was bad news. And so it was just further and further bringing down my mood. And I know that you can update your notification settings. I'm very well aware of that. But for me, I felt like altogether I needed to just delete the app. And if ever I was curious about particular news stories or anything that I heard, I can go look it up. But I didn't need direct access to news. For me, that was a choice that I had to make, and I've noticed a difference. And the same thing with watching the news. I am aware of how often I'm watching the news, or even, if I'm watching the news and then something comes on that I'm just not in the right headspace to listen to, I'll turn it off. Because again, everything doesn't have to be taken in, if that makes sense. Just because we have access to it doesn't mean that we need it, or doesn't mean that it's good for us. And so you have to know yourself. You have to be aware of yourself and how you're feeling, and be able to determine and assess, hey, you know what? This isn't good for me right now. Yeah, I have access to social media. Yeah, I have all the apps on my phone, or I can get to it on my computer. But just because I can doesn't mean that I need to. And again, we already have so many different things going on in life, that you have to be able to make those assessments and determine what you do and do not need at certain times. And so those are just a couple things you can do if you notice that you're feeling overwhelmed, especially right now with all that's going on, because it is an overwhelming time as a mom. And for me personally, as a mom, and as someone who's working and who interacts with people, I do have to be aware of what's going on and how people are feeling, but I also have to be aware of how I'm feeling. And I have to know, okay, you know what? This particular thing is causing me to feel overwhelmed, and so I can't do this right now. I can't look into this, or I can't allow myself to be a part of this, or I can't whatever the case is, I have to know when to remove something in order to protect my mental health and protect my well-being. And so that is the same thing that I'm offering to you, is to be aware of how you're feeling, to be aware of what's on your plate, to be aware of what you are surrounded by and what you are taking in, so that you know when it's time to either remove people, places, or things from your life in order to protect your mental health. Because that's the bottom line, is you always want to be conscious and aware of doing what you can to protect your mental health. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Just continue to tap into your resources, to continue to strengthen your support systems, and continue to protect your mental health. And so with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And as I've mentioned before, be sure to check out and reach out to EFSC Cares if in fact you decide that you do want to tap into your mental health resources on campus. I'll talk with you guys soon. Bye.